Good morning, beautiful. Yeah, we got up this early. We got up early this morning and decided to just get out, do some runs. Then, like I said, come back, do my walk. At least, in the morning. If there's some people that got to get to work, I want to help them out, right? I do. Interesting enough, a lot of people was doing orders this morning. I need to get that off of my preference when I wake up early in the morning because yeah, I ended up doing several of those, and even though it said Quest, right? I don't think Quest was doing anything. The Quest challenge. So I'm gonna go back to the house. I'm gonna do my morning walk. Yes. And then I might lay down for a little while. What's today? Tuesday? Yeah. I only made like $60 unless I get a tip that rolls in later. But it's really hectic. It's really hectic, to drive in the dark, right? Then it's hectic to drive in an unknown area. Then it's hectic to drive in rush hour. And then it's hectic to, have to deal with these school zones and construction zones. Yeah, it's serious business out here. But, yeah. So, I don't know. I think I might stop at AutoZone and ask them, how I could, get this bulb or this light working. Because, driving at night, I have to have on my high beams. Otherwise, it just has my daytime running lights going, and that's not enough light. It's not. It's just enough light to be seen, but not to see. So, I'm hoping that it's not like some kind of, you buy the whole lens and everything. But I think I will ask questions. I think Fadi knew about that, problem, which is why, he's telling me, oh, make sure you turn off the lights, when you get out the car. Well, the only time you don't see that the light isn't working is if, you're driving at nighttime and you happen to be behind someone and you notice it. Because it's on the left side, on the right side, but it's not on the left side. So, yeah, Fadi, you did me dirty. You did me dirty. Because, if it's just something like a light bulb that you could put in there, you did me dirty. That's all I got to say about that. But I'm feeling a little sleepy. So I might do my walk and then take a nap. Because, yesterday I combined my walk. I did a 2-mile walk, because I didn't break it up. And today I'm making sure that, I break up the walk. And, hey, I might just take a nap. Because, people was having attitudes, kind of, and I'm like, don't have no attitude with me. You might make me think you want to fight. Fight, 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 fight. Yeah. Uh-huh. So let me go over here and ask some questions. AutoZone. Even though I have not been liking, the type of what do you call it? Associate help. Has been like no help. All right. You ask them a question, they're like, "Well, we don't know. Well, what do you want?" And then I'm also going to buy some gas treatment while I'm here. Okay, I got a deal. I got these two for $8. It was a sale that they forgot to take down. And I was like, since I brought it to your attention, you should let me have it for this sale price. He said, okay, cool. Then he came out to look at the bulb on the vehicle, right? Well, he showed me how if he moved it a certain way, the bulb would turn off. It would turn on, but it would turn off if it's moved a certain way. So he said, it's not the bulb. There's something kind of that's causing the wiring to turn it off. There's something in the wiring that's causing it to turn off. So, really nice guy. Like I had said, I am so used to, just getting like the brush off, from these associates. They don't want to, it's like they don't want to work. They don't want to work, But I was glad, he came out and was like, well, let me take a look at it, because I was asking him, I'm like, well, what kind of bulb does, I told him, I said, I have a question, right? And, my question is, how come, the parking, the daylight, but the regular lights, won't work. It was like, okay, he did an isolation, test to find out if the bulb was different for, the daytime running lights, and they were. So he was like, okay, well, he looked up some different light bulbs, and they range from different prices. And then he was like, well, let me see, and he looked at the bulb and was like, the bulb looks fine, and I said, let me turn it on. And I was like, I turned on the car, and, and he pulled the bulb out, because I had asked him, I said, would it be hard to put the light bulb in, right? Because, some cars, you have to dismantle the engine, just kidding. But it's just so hard to get to the light bulb that, they don't even want to do it, right? They'll just advise you to just buy a whole new light. So yeah, I'm glad. So I got some gas treatment. I don't have to buy a bulb or a whole light, and I don't have to be upset at that, feeling like, oh, well, that's why you told me not to, leave the lights on, to, and make sure you, not see that the light bulb is not working properly. Yeah, whatever.